Prime Minister calls for commitment to peaceful coalitions, reassures diaspora that crime reduction strategies are working, and
the UN must be responsive to an ever-changing and unpredictable world if it is to remain relevant and effective.
I'm Anthony Morgan with Jamaica House Weekly. All last week, Prime Minister Andrew Holness was in the eastern state of New York for the 73rd session of the United Nations General Assembly, UNGA. On Monday, Mr. Holness addressed the UN at a peace summit in honor of the 100th anniversary of Nelson Mandela's birth. He urged world leaders to affirm the need for healthy and meaningful dialogue to foster peace.
Like Mandela, we too must commit to the consolidation of peaceful coalitions. What better occasion than this summit to do just that? Let that be our legacy in his honor.
On Tuesday, the Prime Minister held bilateral talks with his Kenyan counterpart. Economic and cultural cooperation, as well as ongoing agreements, were discussed. Mr. Holness also held bilateral talks with the Prime Minister of Denmark. A similar meeting was held with the Venezuelan president. Mr. Holness also held talks with the Commonwealth Secretary General on the margins of the UNGA.
I want to assure you that the government has put in place several crime-fighting strategies, but more than that, we have put in place several national security strategies that are all working to improve the safety and security of Jamaica.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness addressing members of the diaspora on Tuesday. At a reception held at the Jamaican consulate, the Prime Minister also spoke to the economy, climate change, public sector transformation, as well as engaging youth through the Hope and the National Service Corps programs. He also touched on tourism, monetizing culture, entertainment, sport, and ongoing infrastructure development.
From an infrastructure point of view, things look good. There are a couple of big projects as well in terms of real estate development. When I say real estate now, I mean not private, not residential real estate, but commercial and industrial real estate right across the country. Those projects are in the works and will start.
On Wednesday, the Prime Minister attended a high-level panel on building a sustainable ocean economy. Wednesday also saw the Prime Minister attending a meeting with Bloomberg Philanthropies in a bid to raise awareness of the burden of non-communicable diseases, NCDs. During a meeting with the UN Secretary General, Prime Minister Holness was asked to lead a political initiative aimed at mobilizing climate financing to support the Paris Agreement. Mr. Holness and French President Emmanuel Macron will lead the charge to raise $100 billion per year by 2020. In accepting the role, Prime Minister Holness pledged to work with other countries and the private sector to ensure that the targets are met. By Thursday, the Prime Minister chaired CARICOM's high-level breakfast meeting to assess progress made in combating NCDs in the region. In line with innovative approaches to address the issue, Mr. Holness launched Caribbean Moves. The initiative was launched ahead of the UN's third high-level meeting on the prevention and control of NCDs.
The health of our people is the wealth of our nations. We must remain steadfast and committed to the cause of fighting NCDs as we move our people to a healthier life. I implore all of us to step up and to move in our own countries.
Thursday also saw the Prime Minister addressing the 73rd session of the UNGA. He used his presentation to challenge the 193-member grouping to be a responsive body to remain relevant and effective in the global sphere. This, he says, can be done through global leadership and shared responsibilities for peaceful, equitable, and sustainable societies. Mr. Holness also urged world leaders to support small island developing states such as Jamaica to build their resilience against economic shocks and climate change.
Jamaica stands ready to continue working on how we can transform global thinking and together find effective solutions within a fair, rules-based multilateral system supportive of policies which will ensure the emergence and empowerment of small and developing states, truly leaving no country and no one behind.
Mr. Holness also called on international financial institutions to create a special support system for highly indebted middle-income countries. The call for the lifting of embargoes on Cuba was also reiterated by Prime Minister Holness.
Embargoes and other financial and economic barriers must not become tools to prevent people, such as our neighbors, the citizens of the Republic of Cuba, from attaining their rightful development.
A similar call was made to support efforts in quelling political issues in the Western Sahara, Syria, and Myanmar. And that's how we close out Jamaica House Weekly. Be sure to join us next time for more of the news stories coming out of the Office of the Prime Minister.